TVNewsCheck is a daily destination online for the broadcast industry, particularly television broadcasters, to learn about all aspects of TV, whether it's business issues, programming issues, or technology issues. And I write a Thursday technology article, and I do daily blogging on technology. And it's all generally, it's not ever written to be so deep in the technology that it wouldn't be appealing to folks from the management community as well. Try to walk a fine line between not overwhelming them and not being so rudimentary on the engineering side that we don't attract those readers. So that's kind of what we try to provide. Actually, that's relates directly to what we were doing here with TV 2020. The whole goal of TV 2020 was to put into the same room folks who are engineers and folks who are in management from station groups and networks. In general, managers don't care to talk about technology too often, and so we were hoping to present technology in a way that would be interesting and appealing to the managers with a little bit of engineering bent, but nowhere near overwhelming in any way, to convey the message that ATSC3 is coming down the runway, it's about ready to take off, and there are new business opportunities that broadcasters can pursue in addition to their over-the-air TV delivery. When I say TV, I mean really TV, programming via TV. In addition to that, so they can broadcast other sorts of services that can generate revenue for them. None of this has happened yet. We're almost there, so this new standard has not come to fruition. But when it does, there are several that can be pursued. One would be data delivery. And an application for that might be to overcome the last mile challenge that a content provider like Netflix has from delivering content from their servers to the home. So if you're in a place where you don't have good internet connectivity at this point, broadcasters could fill in that gap for Netflix, lease some of their bits, for instance, to a provider like Netflix so that a customer could order up a movie and have it delivered overnight and cached in a new device that's either built into the TV, the next generation TV, or that would be analogous to a set-top box, and have that movie build up and then watch it the next day, or for a different rate structure, perhaps even have it come in live. I think one of the biggest trends here is I think that everyone in the television community is in agreement, which is a hard thing for the television community, that it is necessary to deploy this standard if television is to remain a viable, competitive medium. And the reason that that's so important is over time, following the transition from analog to digital the first time around, which was completed in 2009, the over-the-air audience had started to decline. I think that ATSC3 will help broadcasters build up that over-the-air audience, especially when it's paired with other trends that we see in media consumption, folks cutting the cord to economize in this particular, whatever you want to call the economy we have now, reduce those pay or eliminate those pay TV bills, and then maybe subscribe to a Netflix or an Amazon Prime for those sorts of movies and content that they want, and then receive over-the-air television for their local news and other many programs and sporting events that get delivered via traditional broadcast. I think that right now, networks have relationships with their affiliates, and there's the affiliates pass through the network content, and that could be sports or entertainment. A big component of what local broadcasters do, many of them, is local news. Some might even do 8.5 or more hours a day of local news, if you can believe that. And so that's the kind of content that I think of when I think of TV. These other things I was talking about, for instance, new business opportunity to lease bits to Netflix or Amazon, the broadcaster kind of has a hands-off relationship with that. It's not as if they're programming a new channel with that. What they're doing is leasing bits to those companies or to a content delivery network to move that content from those servers where it resides to the home. So I wouldn't exactly call that a TV channel. That's more of just think of TV as data anymore, and that's what it is. And this is not a programmed sort of thing. This would be something that they would lease. I think it's important to preserve over-the-air TV broadcasting for a couple of reasons. One, TV broadcasters, unlike other providers of content, have a service obligation that they've always fulfilled. They are embedded in their communities. They know their communities. They want to provide the news and entertainment and sports, and weather. But most importantly, probably the emergency messaging that's necessary, whether it's in Kansas City where I'm from and we have a tornado bearing down on us, or it's out here and Hurricane Sandy's coming in and wiping out, countless cells in a cell network. It's the TV broadcasters with the big sticks that stay on the air and deliver the emergency messages that the public needs to stay safe in times when there's a problem. Well, yeah. Think about it like this: a wireless company, they have hundreds, thousands of cell sites that they have to maintain and keep on the air. And in a time of an emergency, everybody pulls out their cell phone, and the more people that are trying to hit that cell tower where they are, the more unreliable the service becomes and the less available the service becomes. But a broadcast situation is one stick to many, to everyone. So it is more reliable in that respect. Many broadcasters also do things like have auxiliary transmitting sites in case that primary antenna and transmitter go down. They were able to get back on the air. And some have taken this seriously, beefing up their transmission to endure severe situations. I think of stations down in New Orleans, one in particular, that was able to stay on the air when Hurricane Katrina came through and was really served as the lifeline for many, many people down there who were displaced on the move. And all they had back then were these little portable analog battery-operated TVs that they could watch, and they stayed on the air and were able to help folks. And so that's the type of thing broadcasters can do. In addition to that, local broadcasters provide a connection with the community for a lot of folks, as far as news, sports, entertainment goes. And the other thing I'd say is if you looked at the demographics, and I'm no expert at this because that's not what I report on all the time, but it has been a opportunity for folks coming to the United States and just establishing themselves that may not have the same economic circumstances that people have been here a long time to become part of society and receive programming, entertainment, news, etc., over the air for free, and that's important. So I'd say that the television distribution medium has always been there, but what happened when we transitioned from analog to digital was a long transition. I think for a lot of different reasons. Many people turn to pay TV sources like cable and satellite, et cetera, to receive a lot of their programming. So the over-the-air market diminished, and for over-the-air broadcasters. With ATSC3, they have the opportunity to provide a lot of new services in addition to their TV broadcasting, and see their over-the-air market grow and monetize the number of bits that they have that they don't devote to TV in other ways. And I mentioned the last mile. There are opportunities to do data casting, opportunities as the society, as the Internet of Things happens, and there's a need to push out data to devices. Broadcasting offers a great solution for that. For instance, let's say that you have a software, an OS update on your iPhone, iOS update, just push it out perhaps that way to everyone. And that could be for any kind of device that would need to have software updates. So that's another one of these applications, just a couple of many that are available. I think the critical thing for broadcasters to understand is even though they face the challenge today of repacking the spectrum because the FCC is requiring this, and even though this is going to be a major project, they still need to keep in mind that right around the corner is ATSC 3. And so they need to be making decisions today to position themselves tomorrow to take advantage of all these new opportunities.